I mean, I often mention that the key to practice is Sati, is this awareness. And awareness, I mean, has to have an interest of what it is aware. As long as we are in this conventional reality, there's always an observer and there's an object we observe. But if the observer is not interested in the object to be observed, I mean, it just goes off the line. So if we are not interested, or if we fool ourselves and said, we are not interested about this, or we are not interested about that, we really don't care. Wasn't I talking about that, a few times back? I don't care, That's not the right attitude. I should care. I should care about everything that happens within this very moment. What is happening? And then if something is happening, then we will reflect upon it. What is happening? Why is it happening? And what effect has it? When we do investigation, we have to be interested in what we observe. Otherwise, how can we get a clue of what this thing is? I mean, the normal way of people observe it, they see a woman and say woman and then it's it. Well, they classify it, that's a nice woman or a young woman, it's a pretty woman, it's a sexy woman, And then that's it. The interest is gone. And then think of the next stage. If it's an uninteresting woman, they forget it and look for the next stage. I mean, being aware is being aware of what is going on. I mean, do we really see a woman? No. All what we see is form and color. I mean, just let's reflect about it, when we see something. Actually, what we see is form and color. And what our sanya makes out of it, is a woman, or is a man, or is food, or is a drink. Or is our body, or is this, or is that. If we are not interested in what is going on, there are certain dullness appears. I mean, we just, sit there and be dulled in. Or lulled in. I mean, and one day is passing by, and the next day is passing by, and after 30 days, or after 10 months, we still don't understand. Because we do not investigate. We do not observe very closely. We get satisfied with the first answer. Oh, this is this. Okay, fine. Let's wait for the next thing. That's that. Okay, fine. Let's wait for the next thing. But what is this, what we see? Is it really a woman? Is it really a man? Is it really food? All what I can see is form and color. So how does this process work? I mean, we want to experience this process. We want to see it for ourselves. I mean, or just do we want to believe for the rest of our lives? Yes. Then how can we ever get clever? Oh. I mean, that's what we have been doing all our life long. So with this kind of attitude, we cannot get clever. We cannot get smarter. We cannot understand. We cannot gain wisdom. We cannot gain insight. And if we don't gain insight, we cannot let go of our feathers that bind us to evil. The interest. And the effort is there, make it interesting. Make it the most interesting object, and you're completely sucked in. I mean, when we investigate the body, I mean, we have 32 parts of the body that we can investigate, or we have there in the list of the outer parts of the body. Or in the beginning, we start with the hair of the head, or with the hair of the body, with the skin, with the nails and the teeth, and then with the inner organs. I mean, we do it for one day, when we have 32 days, we think we have finished in 32 days. No. We do it for one day, we do it for 1 month, we do it for 1 year, we might do it for 10 years. Every time the same thing. Investigate until we understand. But if there is no interest in investigation, I mean, the interest is not to get results in the way that we dream of, or that we aim for, or that we think of. The results will come, just by objectively observing it. What is this? What is going on? What is happening, if I put some fire under this body? What's really happening? And you will be amazed, the answer will come up. First of all, the logical answer comes up that we all know from our books, or from the things that we have seen. Once we investigate this answer and say, okay, let's see, maybe that's not the truth. Maybe something else is going on. Let's see it more. Let's see it with our inner eyes. What is really happening? And really observe it. Until we really understand it. Only once we really understand it, we will let go of it. So the effort is to make this interesting. The effort that we put in our practice is not, just to dull away. Of course a dull state is much, much better than an agitated state. Isn't it? But the dukkha, a dull state of mind is dukkha. It's nothing else than dukkha. Because we are not happy. We are not satisfied. A dull state of mind is just a dull state of mind. Of course, it differs from an agitated state of mind that might be even worse. If you compare a mind of anger, to compare to a mind of dullness, then the mind of dullness is still much more preferable than the mind of anger. Or if you compare it to the mind of greed, that wants something, desperately wants something, then this mind of dullness is still better than that wanting, that longing, that drive. But dullness is just like, I don't care. I'm not interested in what is going on. I mean, the key is Sati. And Sati is to be interested in what is going on. Being interested in what we see, or what we experience, what we observe. I've seen it, I have seen it so many times, it's boring, isn't it? Okay, you still don't understand. Rephrase the question, okay, this is boring. What is boring? I mean, you can find it out by investigating yourself, or I just can tell you, it's just being not interested in what is going on. That's boring. I mean, that's boredom, or even it's dullness, huh? I mean, dullness does not exist in our state, in our 5 groups. Oh, does it? I mean, 5 groups, we have to always come back to the basic principles. In the 5 groups, is the group of the body, is the group of memory and association, is the group of feeling, is the group of thought, and is the group of consciousness. So dullness, where does it belong to? I mean, it just doesn't fit into. So, then we take dullness itself and investigate what it is. Where does it come from? Huh? Sleepiness can be the same thing. I mean, we can investigate everything, you know. I mean, that's a path of practice. I mean, whatever we don't investigate, that's where the kilesas lurk. That's a hiding place, you know, from where they act. That's fine. It's difficult to understand. So what is sleepiness? Now ask yourself, is it not a kind of state of boring? You know, I'm bored, or I'm fed up, you know, I want to sleep, I want to forget. What is down, is it not the same thing? I'm not interested. I just want to dull my mind. I mean, that's why people take alcohol and drugs, isn't it? To dull their mind. They don't really want to know what is going on. I mean, and if you look, you know, at the process of how things arise, I mean, that is what avijja is. I don't want to know. I just want to assume. This is that, you know, I want to assume within my own frame of rules. I mean, interest is this keenness. I mean, you understand this? This keenness to understand what the hell. I mean, the question, you know, that popped up immediately after my first retreat, 10 days retreat, was what the hell is going on? Who the hell is telling me this? Who the hell, you know, is that? What the hell is going on? I mean, I want to know. I want to know. I want to understand. I mean, that's the key to practice. What is going on? Whatever movement is going on, what is it? I mean, as long as we live in the space of words, I mean, then we find, you know, in what kind of khandha does it belong to? Mostly it doesn't belong to one khandha by itself. Mostly it's a combination of three khandhas. It's a combination of thought, it's a combination of feeling and memory. Huh? Or it's just a memory, or it's just a combination of memory and feeling, or memory and thought, combined with a feeling. That's it. That's the states of emotions that we have. That's the moods. You like to be moody? Okay, that's fine. I mean, you want to be dull, or you want to be, you know, you want to understand. I mean, understanding doesn't take place only one time, you know. The moment we understand, you know, maybe it's wrong understanding. So we have to prove it, you know. To dig into it. What is it? What does it mean? Where does it come from? Maybe it's from the kilesas. I mean, until one time in our practice we really see the difference between thoughts, views, opinion, and the experience itself. Once we see the difference, what is knowledge that arises from within our citta, and the difference too, our thoughts, views, and opinions, I mean, then the practice goes much easier. But unless we don't know it, you know, we can assume that our thoughts and views and assumptions, you know, are the knowing. I mean, we use the word knowing, you know, throughout the books, throughout our life. I know. Don't you say that often? I know. Oh, I don't know. But that is not the kind of knowing I'm talking about. The kind of knowing I'm talking about comes from the citta. And the citta has only to know once. And then we will never forget it. The knowing that we learn through books or through discussion or debates, you know, I mean, after a few days or few weeks or few months, it's gone. So we have to refresh it. What did I say? Oh, okay. What did we discuss? Oh, okay. Remember. Was that really right, And then we see 10 years later, we change our opinions, or we change our views. Or what I said, that wasn't really that great. I changed my mind. So I changed my mind. That certainly doesn't lead to the knowingness of the chitta, because the chitta doesn't change its mind, because it doesn't have a mind of its own. The chitta just is. The chitta just knows. So to come to this knowingness, that the basic rules how to approach this knowingness is to concentrate on one spot. Either the breath at the tip of the nose, or your Buddha, or the combination of it. Until the observation of the breath or the observation of the Buddha will lead to the knowingness of the chitta. And then you will see the difference, what kind of knowingness and the normal, usual knowingness of self. That's a big difference, isn't it? Or you still don't know? It seems you still don't know. The knowingness of seeing your body and suddenly, seeing it as loathsome, that is certainly a knowingness that comes from the chitta, It has nothing to do with our knowingness that we know from the books, When we look at the books, it's not really that disgusting. Or we can't see anything, it's just pieces of needle, just like we go to the butcher. We go to the butcher, we select our steak. Or something like, we just look at it, it's normal, And see it fried, some people eat it raw. No matter what, But we certainly don't see that as disgusting. Strange, isn't it? So you understand. Interest in what is going on. Not being satisfied with whatever the kilesas tell us will lead us to knowingness, will lead us to insight, will lead us to wisdom. And we are after wisdom. Because wisdom is the only thing that can cut the feathers. To understand, maybe now, after I've talked, so often, that the chitta, just controls this biological unit that we call body. Of course, yes. We will, we see parts of it, and we say, yeah, that's like this. But that is not our experience. Our experience is coming from seeing it from within, by ourselves. The moment I saw it, instantly, this analogy popped up, of a driver in a car. I haven't heard of it, as a description somewhere. So, but I saw it, with my own inner eyes, that's how it is. The body is completely separate from the chitta. Chitta has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the body. It can go out of the body, it can go back into the body. But at the moment, for most of us, it is stuck in this body. And it will go only out of this body when this body dies. Then it's more or less forced to go out of this body. And then it just finds another prison. Another body. And be it a human body or an animal body or what kind of body, it doesn't matter. To be stuck again into the prison. We can't separate it out. That's what our big problem is. So we have to find a method, how to separate it. The method of separation is, to put the things, to sit down in meditation once the mind gets really calm, and put the body out in front. Yeah? Pile it up, put it out orderly. Make it detailed or coarse, yeah? It doesn't matter. Put it out until there's nothing sitting on, there's no parts of the body anymore on the meditation seat. And then you see all the parts with your inner eyes. I mean, what part that you have put out is the body? Is this part the body? Is the brain the body? Is the heart the body? Is the veins the body? Is the arteries the body? What is the body? I mean, you see only, now if you do it very detailed, you see nails, you see hair. Is the hair the body? Huh? Ask yourself. You want to know. Is the hair the body? Is the heart the body? Is the brain the body? Is the ears the body? Is the eyes the body? Is the nose the body? What is the body? They are just bits and pieces, of flesh, meat and bones, lying there. And what is the body? What is it that we are so attached to? Are you attached to this pile of meat and bones? When you see it out there, are you really attached to that? No, of course you are not. But the moment you take it back, of course you're attached to it again. Oh yes, that's good. Now I can walk, now I can drink, now I can eat, now I can do all the fun things. Now I can listen. So when all the things are out there, I mean, what is left? I mean, something or somebody, actually it's not somebody, something knows that there are parts of the bodies lying out there. And it has nothing to do with knowingness, or with the something that knows, or in Thai Puru, the one who knows. It has nothing to do. The one who knows just sees all the parts of the body. But what part of the body is the body? I mean, if you assemble it in the wrong way, it's not a body. Is it? Just try to put your legs at the place of the ears, I mean, or your brain in the after. That's what most people have actually, the brain. They don't use it. I mean, they don't use the brain, for doing proper work. They use it only for their entertainment. What can I get now? What do I need to get satisfied? I mean, the answer is very simple, what I need to get satisfied. I just need to concentrate and drop into samadhi. That's all what I need to get satisfied. So I don't need this kind of drink. I don't need the coke, I don't need this, or I don't need that to get satisfied. We want to know. I mean, practices we want to know, we want to understand. And when you look at the teachings of Tanata Mahaprabhu, how he trained his disciples. I mean, when there was a meeting in the night it rained or it was a storm. We asked them, what time was the storm? When did it rain? When did it stop raining? And this, one of the bhikkhus said, I don't know. He said, that is not a phrase that we can use in this temple. I don't know is not allowed. I have to know. But knowing in a different sense. Leading to the knowingness of the Chit. I don't care. Oh, it just rained. No, you have to know. You have to know everything. You have to know each movement. You have to know why you get up. You have to know why you get up. You have to know why you drink. You have to know what you eat and why you eat it, and how it tastes. I mean, otherwise how will you ever understand your life? I mean, everything is following the stream, like I just said yesterday, or the last time. I mean, if you do not put any resistance into the stream, the stream just will work the way it flows. Flow the way it flows. Right? Huh? If we don't understand, if we don't see how the river flows, how can we ever stop it? It just flows from one life to the next life. And then from that life to the next life. You have to understand how the river flows, what makes it, turn here, what makes it turn there. And then intercept. Otherwise, it just flows and flows and flows. Oh, yeah. I mean, everything is fine, I'm just a little bit dull, But that's probably, that is Nibbana, being dull, not interested. I'm not interested about it. See, I'm completely detached from the world. So this must be Nibbana. So, but why I'm never satisfied? I'm not satisfied. I mean, Nibbana is described as the ultimate happiness. So this cannot be Nibbana. And this mood certainly cannot lead to Nibbana. It just leads to Dhamma. And if we gather enough, if we gather enough dhammas in this life, in the next life we were born in America. Just a joke. But it's the same thing, If you're skeptical of this and you're skeptical of that, if you criticize this and criticize that, in the next life you will be born in Germany. I mean, if I know better than other people, I certainly in my next life I will become German. I mean, every nationality, has its certain characteristic trait, but that doesn't mean that all of the people, they are like that. I mean, there are extremely bright people, living in the States. And there are extremely dull people living in Germany. I mean, it's just getting at something. Getting at your dullness, What's about the English? I mean, if you suppress constantly your emotions, then you'll be born in prison. I mean, they're really cold, Seem to be cold. So these are called prejudice, But the prejudice have a certain point of truth. I mean, we can use it, to judge other people, or we can use it, to find fault with ourselves and to remove that. Today there seems to be some restlessness. Well, let me see. I mean, asking ourselves, are we really satisfied with the results that we have gotten yet? Are we really happy? Are we really contented? Are we really at ease? Are we really at peace at this moment? And if not, why don't we do a thing? Why don't we tackle the kilesas that produces this mess that we are living in right now? Yes, it's enough. Yes, it's enough. Yeah. I mean, that is a lazy person. Oh, I'm feeling quite, compared to 5 years ago, I'm feeling quite happy, No, that is not the right question. Am I really happy, completely contented right now? Is there something that I really wish, for? And if you find it, and you have to find it because your heart is so full of dukkha. Your heart is so full of dis-ease. Not disease, dis-ease, restlessness, worry. I mean, just the worry, not being able to sleep. I mean, is that sukha? Is that contentedness? Is that peacefulness? Is that harmony? Are we contented this very moment? If not, just let's go do our practice. Or sometimes, do I want to be reborn? I mean, do I want to go through all of my youth again? Do I want to really learn how to sit, how to digest, how to learn, how to walk, how to talk, how to think? It took us 15 years to learn it. And 24 years, to complete it. Do I want to do that again before I can, before I can be in the state that I'm right now? And then once I'm in there, it's going to be falling apart again. Do I really want the next life? If not, then just let's work at it. Not, to enter the stream that leads to Nibbana. I mean, you have to find some things, that drives you. Without an engine, a car is useless. So without an engine that drives you, I mean, you will not reach Nibbana. You can put a 1 horsepower engine, or you can 320 horsepower. I mean, makes a difference, doesn't it? So what is keeping you from seeing the truth? Your views, your assumptions, your objectives, your aims, your intentions. Or your likes and dislikes, all sorts of things. The moment I like something, there's something wrong in the present moment. Otherwise I wouldn't like something else. If the present moment is completely contented, I wouldn't like anything at all. Or I dislike something. Because something is wrong in this present moment. So the only thing that we have to observe is this very present moment. But that is, of course, boring. Because this breath is just like the next breath. This Buddha is just like the next Buddha. I mean, this investigation of the body just doesn't lead to anything. I've did it, for the last 3 or 4 weeks, I just don't see it. I just can't see the loathsomeness of it. It's also boring. It's also, let's think about something exciting, At least in our field, let's think about something what we can eat, or what we can drink, or what we can read, or what we can listen to. I mean, if we are not in the world, if we are stuck in this monastery, I have person to your coffee. just watch your cup. I mean, I don't really know what to say, I just see, people who are completely at the end of the rope. Having no interest in whatsoever. I mean, just being satisfied, that they have a more or less comfortable life. Not wanting to change anything. That's what I see at the moment, yeah? So what shall I say? I don't know what to say. I mean, there was in the 90s there was an interesting movie about a Buddhist concept about rebirth. So somebody was getting reborn every day to the same day. He met the same day, he met the same people. And he talked the same things. Each day he woke up, the same things are happening. So when he realized it on the third day, I mean, he got really mad, He wanted to get out of it. He wanted that the day is going on, that the next day is coming. But always the same day is coming. Always the same day is coming. So he got drunk. Got completely pissed. Didn't help him. He killed himself. It didn't help him. He robbed a bank so that the police, could put him into prison. The next day he woke up in his bed and the same day was happening. There was nothing that he could do, that it goes on. I mean, do you want that? It's nothing, an analogy, for one life after the other. The same thing is happening every life. Huh? You even know the conversation that is going on, huh? What this person is going to ask, what that person. I mean, you can get frantic, can't you? But that's actually what is happening. And that's actually why we close our eyes, and think about something nice that we might be able to experience, or that might be happening, and that we wish for it happening. But actually, when we look at it, all the same things are happening. So, the only solution is to take an interest in what is happening and why is it happening. Being aware. Awareness itself is very objective. Sati itself is very objective. It doesn't mind. Things happening and just happening. It's just aware of it. It just knows it. And that gives a sense of relief. The moment of Sati is the moment without kilesa. So there's nobody who's telling us we should think like this, or we should do this, or we should do that. We don't like this, or we don't like that. That's not. But just a moment, we might not even be able to catch it. Must have been quite a few moments together so that we catch it. And what leads us to this Sati? The interest in what is going on. Be it within our investigation or be it within our Buddha. Just with the calm meditation, and you see how difficult it is just to stick the mind to one point. It doesn't want to. Why the hell doesn't it want to? Why the hell does it go out here and go out there and does this thing and does that? Normally we don't investigate, we just bring the mind back and bring the mind back and bring the mind back. Never patient. And then of course boredom arises. I know this best, I mean, I've been observing it for half an hour, I know it in and out. No, you don't know it. The moment you know it, you have no sense of boredom. There's no sense of boredom. There's no sense of disinterest. I mean, the object itself is completely interesting. Because your concentration is fully on that one object. And if it is fully on that one object, thoughts like, I'm bored, or that is boring, or that is not interesting, cannot even arise. Yeah, I don't know what to do with you. I mean, where's your energy? Where's your will? Where's your power? I mean, have the kilesas all eaten it up? What have they done to you? Where's it gone? I mean, the interest that you came here, there was a certain interest. Where has it gone? Where's the power? Where's the energy? I mean, when you do something else, where's the power and energy coming from? Now think about something that you love to do, in the past. Huh? I mean, you always had the power and energy to do it. Now where's this energy gone? It dissipated, in the unknowingness. And now we have to collect it back, bring it back. Don't let it dissipate. I mean, this is just another term, for asavas, outflow. I mean, the chitta, we stay concentrated on the chitta, but the asavas flows out in every direction. And we don't see it. And that's why we think it's boring. Okay. I don't know what to say. I mean, you have to help yourself. Yes, it's the weather. The weather. Of course, yes. I catch a cold when we go. I just have to get rid of this. I hope somebody is coming soon. Otherwise, I don't know what to say.
I think I liked what you said today. I think it was good, especially about awareness in terms of interest. Mm-hmm. And then everything should be like investigation. It's like the interest is what drives it. Because I wasn't, I follow things that are interesting, and that seems to take me, I seem to make a lot of progress that way. And I never know where I'm going, until I get there. Mm-hmm. But it's interest is really the vehicle that carries it, and does it.
Yes. I mean, people who are not interested in going to this city or that city, they will never go there.
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Is, say, like, knowing is something you can never forget. Mm-hmm. Okay, because it's knowing, it's experience.
Yeah.
Would you consider knowing how to ride a bicycle, I don't know how you couldn't explain it. You couldn't sort of verbally tell anybody how to ride a bicycle. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's something that once you learn how to ride a bicycle, you always know.
Yes, but in the next life you have to train it again.
Okay, but in
this life you will know it.
But okay, now does that mean that if I know something in one life, that will carry through to the next life? If you're reborn? Okay, no, that's interesting.
I mean, you don't have to ask me the question.
I should know.
No, you just ask yourself, why is it? I mean, you have studied in the university. And amongst your graduates or undergraduates, there were 30 or 60 of them. Were they all of the same quality? Did they all understand in the same or in the same fast way or same slow way, or not understand at all?
No, they were totally different.
They were totally different.
Okay.
And why are they totally different?
Because of what they remember from the past life?
Not because of what remember is something that we are aware of. I mean something that we have trained of,
That they know, I don't mean remember.
Yes. I mean a good doctor is a doctor who has been a doctor for quite a few lives. A good scientist is a good scientist because of his experience of a few lives, because he has done the same thing. And that will carry through. But if he then stops, for a long time, and also this knowledge will get forgotten.
What is knowing? Could knowing be considered karma?
Mm-hmm.
No, because
I mean your habits, of being stingy, will carry through to the next life. And you will automatically be stingy. Or your habit of being generous will carry through to the next life. Because the habits are just the traits of karma. It's nothing else than karma. If you do something over and over again, if you run our car into the sand in the deep or in the mud, the deeper we run it, the more difficult it is to get out. But if you change the track, then the track will change.
No, that.
I mean, it explains everything, it explains the situation of people, Some people study music, I told you before, I mean, when Mozart was 6 years, he was sitting on the toilet and composing his first minuet or whatever. And now people study music for 30 years, and what they write is not even enjoyed. I mean, that's the first life they probably do it. Next life they become a little bit more sophisticated. I mean, some people can speak 7 languages. Other people hardly can speak their own language. Some people can give a talk, and others people can't.
Is that learned?
I mean, learned is also in a sense of knowing. I mean, whatever is a trait, whatever you can't take with you are material objects. But however you trained your mind, I mean, that remains. I mean, however you trained your chitta, that will remain. I mean, otherwise, each life we have to start from scratch as a meditator. Huh? That is impossible. Yes. I mean, some people, they just come here, and within 7 days they go into Apana Samadhi. And other people, they work for 20 years, to get there. I mean, it carries in from the last life. Everything carries in from our previous experience. Not only, not only our knowing, but also the results of our deeds. They come back.
Does it knowing that, what you're saying, that explains to me a lot of things, because not only myself, but other people, because as a baby, there were things that I knew, and I was just a baby, I shouldn't have been aware of. I mean, I knew when people were lying. Mm-hmm. I mean, I just knew.
Yeah, and quite a few babies, quite a few children under the age of 10 or, I mean, they see other beings. They see devas sitting there, or see ghosts, or see that.
Well, I saw it as a kid. I mean, I didn't realize what I was seeing at the time. Mm-hmm. But I had all kinds of strange things. But I mean, I wonder, like, about having asthma and having to be aware of my breath all the time.
Yes.
And always sort of having to consciously breathe.
Mm-hmm.
It put me in a lot of weird places.
Yes.
And so, it's just that there are a lot of things which seem so contradictory. And most of them I can sort out as being like the answer is the middle path, is between it, because they're extremes. So nothing is so good that you can take it to extreme, or so bad, so to speak. It's like, but I don't know. I find I was reading something, I don't remember what it was, but it mentioned somebody's name. It said they were the son of a diva.
Son of what?
Son of a diva.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that set me to thinking, do divas, so are people born divas, like in the diva world, have a diva mother and father?
Could be. I don't know.
This is.
I'm not really sure about that.
Okay, because I don't know. My impression. I thought of divas as being sort of not having a body.
Of course, they have a body.
No, but a fine material body.
Yeah.
I guess not having.
They are not born in the same way as human beings. Coming out through a.
Yeah. Okay.
But they certainly are born. In certain diva realms, there are males and females, huh?
Will they be born
together.
And
another
grow up as a diva? Would you have a baby diva?
I don't know. You just go. You go yourself. I've never been to the diva realm and never asked them, and and I just don't know. This you either go there and ask the divas next time you see them, and then
Well, I always have questions after the fact, not during the fact. It's just you're in the present, and there isn't a past and future, so you're not thinking about any questions you might have had.
Does it really matter if the divas are babies or
I'm just curious.
I assume they're all adults. They are not babies. Huh?
That's what I would think, because I've never seen a baby. Even all of them seem to be sort of not old, not young.
They're not old and not young.
Yeah.
They're just they're just what the other people call the astrologer.
Well, they're sort of like an ideal age, not too old, not too young.
But they die. Yeah. They are born in this realm. Born in this realm doesn't mean, the physical birth. You just taken to this realm, and live in this realm. We are just go from one country to the next country, and then live in this country. We have our relatives, but when we go, from one country to the other, we're not born in this country. We just go to another country, live in the country, and feel like this country.
Well,
and then, then we are kicked out of this country, and that means death. And then we come to a new country, and we live there.
Okay, when somebody...
So for animal realms and for human realms, we have a birth, that starts from growing small to growing big. I don't know, if a child dies, becomes a ghost, maybe it's a child ghost. I don't know. I really don't know. Because I have not been in this realm. So next time you go in this realm, then just look,
I've never seen a child ghost. It's like everybody seems to be sort of the same age, so to speak.
Yeah, I would suggest that. This is the way. Because they are not really babies. Also in human realm, they just have a form of a baby, but they are not babies in the sense that I mean, they have been reborn for the millions of times.
So everybody's essentially the same age.
More or less, yes.
80 years old every year.
Yes, but that must not necessarily be true. I mean, some people say there are old spirits and there are young spirits. I mean, we talk about spirits, or we talk about a being. I mean, it depends on when we enter this cycle of rebirth. If we enter the cycle of rebirth, lately, then we are young spirits. If we entered it early, then we are old spirits.
I thought that chitta has always existed. Does that mean
Of course it has it's always existed, but it doesn't exist as a person.
so the chitta could exist and not be reincarnated? I'm saying, in other words, like before it started reincarnating?
That is a question I can't answer. This is the question we shouldn't ask.
Okay.
When this all happened, we shouldn't ask them.
Okay, now I understand that.
Lord Buddha told us, because it's too,
It's not necessary.
First of all, it's not necessary. The only question we should ask ourselves, if we are not satisfied with this life, how do we get out?
Yes.
And then, if we get out, we probably will know, how all this started.
Well, I understand I should only be concerned with my own karma, nobody else's, and whatever happens to the inside card, so I should look inside and see how I caused it to cause it again.
John, is there a value in trying to figure all this out simply because of it being an analogy for the mind, the way the mind works?
No, not even that. Because that's not how the mind works.
Is that as a model for the conventional, not the chitta, but a model for the way the conventional mind keeps getting reborn into different mental states? I'm thinking of the Tibetan Wheel of Life as a kind of a model to...
what is the model? If a model is there, to explain something that doesn't help us, then the model is worthless. A model for the world, for the beings in the world, it has certainly a certain value. But we are at a stage where we try to get out of it. So then only models, that help us, to paint the way out, or to point the way out. That is really helpful. Just ask yourself, does it give me any clue, how to get out of the prison, it doesn't matter how you got into the prison. It's a question how you get out of the prison. And the sentence is the sentence of life. No matter what you did, how to get into the prison, your sentence is the sentence of life. The question is how to get out of it. So making all the models how we got in. It's speculation, and of course speculation fascinates us much more than the daily breath, or the daily investigation, isn't it? Because then we can figure out something. And when we can figure out something and we think, that is great, that's a good idea, then we are happy. And actually we forgot about our practice.
I just thought in terms of identifying where we are so that we can objectify it
where we are is that where our Sati is. That's where we are. You cannot figure out at what stage of the process you are. You probably want to figure out how many more days do I have to walk until I reach Sodapanna or Sakadagami or Anagami. That's no way. All what you can do is put one stone, off I mean, each day cut the feathers down, until the feathers are so thin that the next cut will get rid of. Everything of figuring out, I mean, think about the practice, like building a tunnel through a mountain. I mean, the moment we are in the tunnel, we don't know when we come out. We don't even know how big the mountain is. I mean, all what we can do is, put one stone, each time we put one stone behind us. And the moment we see the light, okay, that's the time, when we're out. But we love, we love to have a perspective. We love to have a future. But where is the future? The future is not the present moment. The past is not the present moment. The past has gone and the future hasn't arisen. The only thing that is valid is the present moment. But of course, our mind loves to play with the future and distort the past. You get out the moment you see the light. That's when you get out. But if you just sit and wait, I mean, there will be no light. Never ever, You sit for the rest of your life, and the next life, and all other lives in the tunnel. If we even have started the clinic.
But as an example, that trying to get out would represent a state that could be pictorially.
I mean, what's the use of picturing?
Well, then you can identify. And,
what's the use of identification?
Well, you can then see it's not you. You can then wonder who is it that knows it.
You try to identify with something in order to see that.
No, this is a language difficulty.
No, I'm just, I'm playing now with words.
Oh,
yeah. And so to get you an understanding, what you're trying to do. I mean, the kilesas are very clever. They try to identify with a certain concept, to get rid of that concept. I mean, that never works.
Right.
And that's why I was playing.
Right.
It's useless to create these concepts. The only thing that is helpful is to see what is going on this very moment. I mean, what the hell is going on? Why am I doing this? I mean, to uncondition ourselves. Huh? How do we uncondition ourselves? To find the condition that triggers a certain action that is unwholesome. And to remove that condition forever. That is one unconditional. And each kilesa we have to uncondition. So this kilesa will not appear. And that kilesa will not appear. Until all the kilesas are gone. And then we are in the unconditioned. What is just another name for Nibbana. But we try always to condition ourselves. Because the power of the kilesas is to condition this and to condition that. To create this condition. To create that thing. To create this thing. To create that meaning. To create this view and this opinion and this and this and this and this. And then we latch onto it and actually think it's real. But actually nothing of this is real. It doesn't exist. It just exists in the mind. In our perceptions, in our views. But reality is just this breath in and this breath out. And that, once you realize that forever, you don't want to have another body. I mean, dragging this body along every day, putting it to sleep, washing it, feeding it, exercising it. I mean, what's the fun of it? You drag it along, you drag 50 to 100 kilos with you. Every day, wherever you go, you drag that along with you. I mean, are you fed up with it? And what does it give you? Pain. Disease. Sickness. When we're hungry, it's painful. When we're thirsty, it's painful. When we're sleepy, it's painful. When we're tired, it's painful. When we walk it, when we move it, it's painful. When we sit, it's painful. It's never is at ease. So what does it get, What does it give us? Why the hell, are we sticking with this thing? And that's exactly what we have to investigate. And when we investigate it, when we come to this kind of insight, then we see there's actually, the things that come with the body, and then are the six senses that we are interested in. So we investigate the six senses. With the eyes closed, can we still see? And then we realize we can still see. And more vivid images, than in reality. And all sorts of images, all sorts of words. So the eyes are not that really that interesting. Now look at the ears, if we close our ears, can we still hear? Of course we can hear. And so on, and so on, and so on. So the body becomes an absolute nuisance. But people don't reflect this way, they just want. They just go for their wanting. Or for their dislike. That's why they never reflect upon, what is this, every businessman does it, if I buy this, what does it bring me? What kind of, positive effect does it have? We never think like businessmen when we look at our body. The only thing that overcomes us is greed and hate. Isn't it? Of course, then we say, when we got old, okay, I don't want another body, I don't want an old body. That doesn't mean I don't want a young body. Fresh, 20. Higher, isn't it? 20 is just, you have the power, we all feel, we have the power to change the world. With 30, it's already gone. We feel sucked in the world. Every generation goes through that, doesn't it? With 20, we feel we can change the world. With 30, we're sucked into the world. Just like a vacuum cleaner, sucked. And we were just with a rest, muddled in. We can change the world. We can change our world. That's all what we can do. So this is also an investigation for the body. What does it do? Cost effect. Just being a plain, very objective business. What cost does it have? You have to feed it, you have to house it, you have to clothe it, you have to give it medicine. You have to exercise it, you have to put it to sleep. That all costs money. So we have to work for this money. And that is not something that we want to do. So what does it give us? 1 minute of happiness a day. And 23 hours, 59 minutes of unhappiness. So is it worth? Every businessman says no. It must be over 50% before it becomes worth it. Because we never think like that. We always think this is, we are caught in the prison and we think the prison is us. So we never ask the question. Because it never comes as real,